unfolding the secrets of the Vatican, a woman of immense intellect and ambition who lived her life disguised as a man. She navigated a world that denied women power, rising through the ranks of the Catholic Church with astonishing success. This is the story of Pope Joan, a figure shrouded in mystery and controversy. Was she real or a figment of imagination? A tale spun to challenge the established order? The legend of Pope Joan has captivated minds for centuries. It speaks of a time when the lines between fact and fiction blurred and challenges our understanding of power dynamics in the medieval world. Her story, passed down through generations, continues to resonate in the 21st century. It speaks to the enduring power of myth and the human fascination with the unknown. Did she truly rule from the seat of St. Peter, her true identity concealed beneath papal robes? Some dismiss her existence as mere folklore, a tale woven to discredit the Church. Others argue for the historical validity of Joan's papacy, pointing to clues hidden within official records and the testimonies of chroniclers. This enigmatic tale takes us on a journey through the annals of time. We delve into the heart of the medieval church, a period of political intrigue, religious fervor, and societal upheaval. Through the lens of Joan's story, we confront the complexities of gender roles and the human thirst for knowledge and influence. Imagine the hallowed halls of the Vatican, where centuries of secrets reside within ancient stone. Within these walls, if the whispers are to be believed, a young woman named Joan dared to challenge the very fabric of religious authority. Driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge, she concealed her true identity and embarked on a path forbidden to her sex. The early Middle Ages presented formidable barriers for women seeking education and spiritual enlightenment. The Church, the epicenter of learning, barred women from positions of power and influence. Yet Joan refused to be confined by the constraints of her time. Her story, if true, reveals the extraordinary lengths to which women were forced to go to claim their rightful place in a world dominated by men. It speaks to the indomitable human spirit and the unwavering pursuit of knowledge, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. The legend of Pope Joan invites us to re-examine our understanding of history. It challenges us to look beyond the official narratives and consider the voices that have been silenced or erased. Could the story of a female pope, so easily dismissed as myth, hold within it a kernel of truth buried beneath layers of patriarchal interpretation? The weight of the papal tiara, both literal and symbolic, rested heavily upon Joan's shoulders. She navigated the treacherous waters of papal politics, her every move scrutinized by those who would see her fall. The fear of discovery, the constant need for vigilance, must have been a heavy burden to bear. Yet, according to the legend, Joan excelled in her clandestine role. She proved to be a wise and just leader, her intellect and compassion earning her the respect and admiration of her peers. But how long could she maintain this impossible charade? The story of Pope Joan is a stark reminder of the precariousness of power and the ever-present threat of exposure. It forces us to confront the human capacity for deception and the lengths to which one might go to protect a secret that could shatter the very foundations of society. In the chapters that follow, we will delve deeper into this captivating tale. We will explore the historical context that gave rise to the legend of Pope Joan, examining the evidence and the arguments both for and against her existence. Join us as we journey back in time, seeking to unravel one of history's most enduring mysteries. History paints a vivid picture of Joan's early years in 9th century Germany. Born into a world where women were relegated to the domestic sphere, Joan yearned for something more. She possessed an insatiable thirst for knowledge, devouring books and scriptures with an almost religious fervor. Her parents, recognizing her extraordinary intellect, encouraged her education, a rare privilege for a girl of her time. But as Joan grew older, she realized the limitations placed upon her gender. Access to formal education, particularly in theology and philosophy, was strictly forbidden to women. Determined to break free from these societal constraints, Joan made a daring decision. She would disguise herself as a man, assuming the identity of her deceased brother, John. Clad in men's attire, Joan embarked on a journey that would forever alter the course of her life. She traveled to centers of learning, immersing herself in the world of academia. Her disguise became her shield, allowing her to navigate a world hostile to her true gender. She embraced this newfound freedom, excelling in her studies and captivating her teachers with her sharp mind and insightful observations. The story of Joan's transformation is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It speaks to the lengths to which one might go to pursue their passions and challenge the very fabric of societal norms. In her disguise, Joan found not only knowledge, but also a sense of self-discovery, a liberation from the confines of her prescribed role. Joan's journey led her to the great cathedral school of Aachen, a beacon of knowledge in the Holy Roman Empire. Known as the Athens on the Rhine, Aachen attracted scholars and theologians from across the land. Here, amidst the bustling scriptoriums and lively debates, Joan, disguised as John, honed her skills in logic, rhetoric, and scripture. Her instructors, unaware of her true identity, marveled at her intellect. They praised her sharp wit, her ability to dissect complex theological arguments, and her deep understanding of Scripture. Joan, thriving in this intellectually stimulating environment, quickly rose through the ranks of the student body. But her success was a double-edged sword. As Joan's reputation grew, so too did the scrutiny. She lived in constant fear of exposure, knowing that discovery would mean not only the end of her academic pursuits, but also potential accusations of heresy and deception. Each triumph, each accolade was tinged with anxiety, a reminder of the precariousness of her situation. Despite the ever-present danger, Joan persevered. She found solace in her studies, her mind a sanctuary from the weight of her secret. The pursuit of knowledge became her refuge, her shield against the prejudices of the world outside the cathedral walls. In the hallowed halls of Aachen, Joan discovered more than just scholarship. She discovered her voice, her strength, and her unwavering determination to defy expectations. As Joan delved deeper into her studies, she became increasingly aware of a prophecy circulating amongst the scholars. This prophecy, attributed to the Venerable Bede, spoke of a future pope who would bring about a time of great turmoil and tribulation for the church. What intrigued Joan was not the prophecy itself, but the fact that it made no mention of the pope's gender. This omission, whether intentional or not, planted a seed of ambition in Joan's heart. Could a woman, disguised as a man, ascend to the highest office in Christendom? The very idea seemed both preposterous and exhilarating. The prophecy, whether true or merely a fabrication, fueled Joan's aspirations, whispering of possibilities that lay beyond the limitations imposed by her time. The legend of Pope Joan is often intertwined with this prophecy, adding another layer of intrigue to her story. Was Joan's rise to power preordained, a fulfillment of ancient predictions? Or was the prophecy merely a convenient narrative device woven into the tapestry of her tale to explain the unthinkable, a woman on the throne of St. Peter? Regardless of its veracity, the prophecy served as a powerful symbol for Joan. It represented a challenge to the established order, a glimpse into a world where gender was no barrier to spiritual authority. It was a world Joan, through her disguise, was determined to inhabit, even if it meant living a lie and risking everything she held dear. Years passed, and Joan's reputation as a brilliant scholar spread far beyond Aachen. She became a respected theologian, her writings admired for their clarity, insight, and unwavering logic. Her disguise, once a means to an end, had become an integral part of her identity. She was John, the erudite scholar, the trusted confidant, the rising star of the church. Yet beneath the surface of this carefully constructed persona, Joan never forgot who she truly was. The fear of discovery remained, a constant companion, but so too did the thrill of defiance. She had infiltrated a world that sought to exclude her, proving that intellect and ambition transcended the boundaries of gender. The further Joan climbed the ecclesiastical ladder, the more she realized the true extent of the church's corruption. She witnessed firsthand the greed, the lust for power, and the hypocrisy that infected the hearts of many within the holy institution. This realization fueled her ambition. She believed that she, a woman disguised as a man, could bring about real change, could restore the church to its former glory. The transformation of Joan into John was complete. She had become a master of her disguise, navigating the complexities of church politics with skill and cunning. But her journey was far from over. Ahead lay even greater challenges, greater risks, and the potential for both unimaginable triumph and devastating downfall. The legend of Pope Joan was about to unfold, its chapters filled with intrigue, ambition, and the enduring struggle for power and identity. John, the brilliant scholar, continued his ascent through the ranks of the church. His reputation as a pious and learned man preceded him, opening doors to positions of increasing influence. From humble beginnings as a scribe, he rose to become a cardinal, a prince of the church, his counsel sought by bishops and abbots. Each step closer to the apex of power brought with it a heightened sense of risk. Joan, concealed beneath the identity of John, navigated the treacherous waters of church politics with increasing confidence, yet never allowing herself to forget the precariousness of her situation. One misstep, one unguarded moment, could bring her carefully constructed world crashing down. But fate, it seemed, favored the bold. When the reigning pope died unexpectedly, the cardinals gathered in conclave to elect his successor. The air crackled with tension as factions vied for control, each pushing their favored candidate. Amidst the whispers and intrigues, the name of John, the pious and learned cardinal, emerged as a compromise, a beacon of unity in a divided church. And so, in an extraordinary twist of fate, Joan, the woman who dared to dream the impossible, found herself elected to the papacy. As Pope John VIII, she assumed the mantle of spiritual leadership over Christendom, her true identity known only to herself. The weight of history, of centuries of tradition, rested upon her shoulders, a weight made heavier by the knowledge that her reign was built upon a foundation of secrecy and deception. Pope John VIII, the former Joan, governed with a wisdom and compassion that surprised even her fiercest critics. Her pronouncements on matters of faith and morals were infused with a humanity, a depth of understanding that many found refreshing. Her papacy, though shrouded in deception, ushered in a period of peace and stability, a testament to her innate leadership abilities. Yet, those closest to the Pope noticed a distinct shift in papal policy. There was a new emphasis on the poor and marginalized, a greater compassion for the plight of women, a gentleness that permeated even the most formal of papal pronouncements. These subtle changes, though welcomed by many, raised eyebrows amongst the more conservative factions within the church. Unbeknownst to them, these changes reflected Joan's own experiences, her understanding of the struggles faced by those denied power and agency. She used her position to elevate the voices of the voiceless, to champion the causes of the oppressed. Her every action, a quiet rebellion against the very system she now seemingly embodied. Her papacy, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, became a beacon of hope for many. Here was a pope who seemed to understand their struggles, their joys, their sorrows. Little did they know that their beloved pontiff, the man who spoke with such authority and compassion, was in fact one of their own. A woman who had dared to challenge the very fabric of their world. As Pope John VIII's reign progressed, whispers of doubt began to circulate within the shadowy corridors of the Vatican. Certain decisions, certain pronouncements seemed at odds with the Church's traditional stance on matters of gender and authority. Suspicions arose fueled by those who had always viewed John's meteoric rise with envy and suspicion. Rumors spread like wildfire through the city of Rome. The Pope, some whispered, displayed an unseemly interest in the affairs of women, often receiving female petitioners in private audiences, a practice unheard of in the male-dominated world of the Church. Others pointed to his pronouncements on marriage and family, pronouncements that seemed to grant women a level of respect and autonomy that made some uneasy. The legend of Pope Joan often portrays this period as one of mounting paranoia and suspicion. Joan, ever mindful of her true identity, struggled to maintain her composure as the net of doubt closed in. Every public appearance, every interaction became a test of her ability to maintain her carefully constructed facade. The weight of her secret, the constant fear of exposure, took its toll. Sleep became a luxury she could ill afford, her dreams haunted by visions of discovery and disgrace. Yet she persevered, clinging to the belief that her papacy, her very existence as Pope John VIII, could bring about lasting change within the Church, a change that transcended the boundaries of gender and tradition. Pope John VIII's papacy resonated deeply with the people of Rome. His sermons on social justice endeared him to the masses. Yet Joan, the woman behind the mask, struggled with the weight of her secret. Within the Vatican, Pope John VIII found himself drawn to a young cleric named Adrian. Their bond, born of mutual respect, blossomed into a forbidden love. Their clandestine meetings became a source of solace and danger. As months passed, Pope John VIII's changing appearance sparked rumors. The Pope, it seemed, was with child, leading to fear and outrage. The scandal, when it broke, sent shockwaves through Christendom. During a public procession, Joan collapsed, revealing her true identity. The crowd, initially in awe, erupted in anger and betrayal. Joan, exposed and vulnerable, faced the wrath of the mob. Her fall from grace was a brutal and public spectacle. The crowd, once adoring, turned into a raging torrent. Joan's desperate pleas were swallowed by the roar of the mob. Her reign, built on secrecy, ended in bloodshed and chaos. The Church moved swiftly to erase all trace of Joan's papacy. Despite the Church's efforts, the story of Pope Joan refused to be silenced. Her tale became a cautionary tale and a testament to female leadership. For centuries, her legend resonated with people from all walks of life. The act of retelling Joan's story became an act of defiance. The debate over the historical accuracy of Pope Joan continues. Some argue the legend was anti-papal propaganda, while others see a kernel of truth. The medieval world often intertwined myth and history. The story of Pope Joan speaks to themes of ambition, identity, and oppression. It challenges us to question the narratives we have been taught. Joan's story resonates because it challenges the status quo. The legend of Pope Joan captivates our imagination. Her story speaks to the enduring power of myth and human aspiration. It offers hope and a testament to the indomitable spirit within us all. The legend of Pope Joan transcends its historical setting. It speaks to the thirst for knowledge and the courage to be oneself. Joan's story compels us to examine our own lives and choices. Today, centuries after Joan is said to have lived and reigned, her story continues to resonate with people around the world. In an era marked by ongoing debates about gender equality, the role of women in leadership positions, and the importance of diversity and inclusion, the legend of Pope Joan feels as relevant as ever. Joan's story serves as a powerful reminder that the fight for gender equality is far from over. While we have made significant strides since the Middle Ages, the reality is that women continue to face systemic barriers in countless spheres of life, from the workplace to the halls of government. The legend of Pope Joan challenges us to confront these injustices, to dismantle the systems of oppression that limit the potential of women and girls. It reminds us that true equality requires not simply equal opportunity, but also equal representation. A world where women's voices are heard and their contributions valued in every sector of society. Joan's story is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of challenging the status quo, and the enduring belief in the possibility of a more just and equitable world.